So I decided that I was going to start doing book reviews. It's may become something that's quite regular, once or twice a week. It may become something that's once in a blue moon. It might become something that is just a one-off. I don't know yet. But nevertheless, the first book that I want to run through with you guys is God Is Not Great by Christopher Hitchens. Now, obviously, subtitle How Religion Poisons Everything gives you everything you really need to know about what this book's all about. It's obviously an anti-religious book written by a known atheist / Marxist. And you may recognise the name Hitchens from Peter Hitchens, the conservative thinker and Christian who writes columns in newspapers and books, amongst other things. He's been on many a panel. And anybody who knows me knows the words conservative and Christian do not bide well with me. They are generally two ideologies that I wholeheartedly and vehemently oppose. However, Peter Hitchens has been coming out with more and more things in the recent times that resonate with me and really strike a chord with me and make me respect him as a man and respect him as a thinker. And really, I tend to agree with him a lot more now. Now, these things aren't the normal things that you would expect to come from a conservative Christian thinker. So, clearly, Peter Hitchens is a very intelligent man who has a lot to say on many issues, a lot that I disagree with, but gradually more and more that I am inclined to agree with. So, let's jump into the book. I read through this twice. I've highlighted a lot of it on the second time round. We'll start quite early in, where he talks about religion and how religion kills. This is chapter 2, and he talks about how religion inspires murder and death, and how religious, not just religious texts, but religious teaching and religious preachers and teachers and imams and such, and priests as well. I've got highlighted here, in 1996, the Irish Republic held a referendum on one question: whether its state constitution should still prohibit divorce. Most of the political parties in an increasing secular country urged voters to approve of a change in the law. They did so for two excellent reasons. It was no longer thought right that the Roman Catholic Church should legislate its morality for all citizens, and it was obviously impossible even to hope for eventual Irish reunification if the large Protestant minority in the north was continually repelled by the possibility of clerical rule. Mother Teresa flew all the way from Calcutta to help campaign along with the church and its hardliners for a no vote. In other words, an Irish woman married to a wife-beating and incestuous drunk should never expect anything better and might endanger her soul if she begged for a fresh start. While as for the Protestants, they could either choose the blessings of Rome or stay out altogether. Obviously, he's talking about how religion kills children and how religion kills essentially the soul of women and children who could be born into an abused relationship, abused marriage, abusive, toxic family household. And that's his view on abortion. Now, Christopher Hitchens did oppose abortion, but he was for it in cases of toxic or incestuous relationships and things like that. Also, I've got, in Belfast, I have seen whole streets burned out by sectarian warfare between different sects of Christianity, and interviewed people whose relatives and friends have been kidnapped and killed or tortured by rival religious death squads, often for no other reason other than membership of another confession. There is an old Belfast joke about the man stopped at a roadblock and asked his religion. When he replies that he is an atheist, he is asked Protestant or Catholic atheist. So obviously he's talking about the IRA and the war between different religious sects, even if they're belonging to the same faith. And really, it's that kind of thing that you cannot argue with. Now, with this book, as in many atheist literature, there is an air of arrogance about it, an air of self-righteousness, which is really where I struggle with most atheist literature. But, but you cannot argue with what is actually being said if you can get past the arrogance of it all. What is being said is truth. Pure, unadulterated fact that you cannot hide from. Again, I've got highlighted the forces of Hamas, who claim the whole of Palestine as an Islamic wave, or Waqif, should I say, sorry, or holy dispensation sacred to Islam, have begun to elbow aside the Christians of Bethlehem. Their leader, Mahmoud el-Zahar, that may be out of date, I'm not sure who the leader of Hamas is yet, but this book came out in 2011, has announced that all inhabitants of the Islamic State of Palestine will be expected to conform to Muslim law. In Bethlehem, it is now proposed that non-Muslims should be subjected to al-Jizya tax, the historic levy imposed on dhimmis or unbelievers under the old Ottoman Empire. He's also got, in Gaza, a young woman named Yusra al-Azami was shot dead in April 2005 for the crime of sitting unchaperoned in a car with her fiancé. Now, it should be noted that while he's criticising Hamas and the Islamic rule in Palestine here, he was also quite critical of the actions of Israel towards the Palestinian people, again, based on their religion. So this is really, the things I've highlighted have got strong connotations with fact, and the fact that you cannot hide from this. So, like many atheist writers, Christopher Hitchens was a man who was all about facts, evidence, and the hard truth. It wasn't about faith or belief or what you felt was right. It was about what was right. And this, I think, is where most of the arrogance comes from. He knows he's right. Highlighted again. Religion is not unlike racism. One version of it inspires and provokes the other. As I just said about the Palestinian, Hamas, Israel situation. He criticised both sides. So that's that book. God is not great. Pick it up if you can. That doesn't matter whether you're an atheist or a believer or agnostic or whatever. Pick it up. Get a hold of it. It is worth reading. There is a lot of truth in the book. Whether you agree with him or not, you can't help but respect the man. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Book review, whatever.